An airline that Herpa has ignored for years, but luckily Sky 500 has jumped into the market and has provided us with some lovely models. Is this one of them? Well, we find out right after the drop. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at a Boeing 787-9 of Virgin Atlantic. At the front of the box we have the cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and at the bottom of the box we have the Virgin Atlantic branding. The backside of the box follows the normal box design of Sky 500, which is rather underwhelming but still way better than what Herpa gives us these days. And here she is, the Boeing 787-9 in the current livery of Virgin Atlantic. I have been looking for this model for quite some time and was so happy when I finally found it for a reasonable price this year, and I'm really looking forward to taking a closer look at it. So let's get going, and we start off with the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer have the Virgin branding. On top of the stabilizer we then have two letters. Those are the last two letters of the registration code. The full registration code we then find on the fuselage. We do also have a little bit of detailing on the horizontal stabilizer, and of course at the very tail of the aircraft we also have a little bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. At the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage we then have the writing of Virgin Atlantic. Underneath that we have the aircraft type specification. At the front we then have a depiction of a woman with the Union Jack, and I know that all aircraft from the Virgin Group, regardless of what Virgin airline it is, has something like this or very similar. I know that with Virgin Australia it's called the Flying Maiden. I'm not entirely sure if that's the name that is used throughout the entire airline group, but it's something similar like this, and underneath that we then have the name of the aircraft. And then we also have a little bit of detailing around the cockpit section itself, where we of course have the cockpit windows and the window wipers printed on, as well as the emergency hatch just above the cockpit windows. What I'm missing here is the circular line around the radome, and although it's not super visible on the aircraft in real life, it is visible, and therefore I am missing it here. Then we have the engines, or the engine nacelles, which I think look absolutely gorgeous with this lovely red color. We of course also have the silver leading edge and the Rolls-Royce logo printed on as well. Sky 500 has also done a decent job with the physical detailing here, for example with the chevron nozzles, which I think they have pulled off really nicely. And of course if you look into the engines from the front, we can also very nicely see the engine fan blades. Then we should also take a quick look at the wings, starting off here with the top side, where we have the different flap slats and spoilers carved out rather nicely. We also have the markings as to where to walk on the wings, this even specified in writing. Very nice. I also love the little detail here at the very edge of the wings. Again, this little red coloring, it just looks really gorgeous. And then on the underside we also find the full registration code of the aircraft, and a personal highlight for me on the wings is the addition of the landing lights. A simple little printed detail, but it looks really great. And what also looks really great is when we look here at the belly of the aircraft, where we again have the writing of Virgin Atlantic. This looks really nice. And from there on we can then move on to the landing gear, more specifically here the main landing gear underneath the wings. And I think Sky 500 has done a really good job with that as well. Also the front landing gear I think looks pretty decent. Here we also have some printed details, something I'm of course always very appreciative of. And then last but not least, we also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here on the back side of the aircraft, and here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Boeing 787-9 in the current livery of Virgin Atlantic in scale 1 to 500 by Sky 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Well, overall, I think it is a very nice aircraft model from Sky 500. It's not perfectly executed everywhere, but overall it is actually really decent. The print, for example, overall is of a really high standard, but not every detail is executed to perfection. For example, here the silver leading edge, the red coloring is shining a little bit through, but these are small minor details and they can differ from model to model. And it's a similar story when we talk about the physical detailing and of course here also the quality of that. Overall, I think the physical detailing of the model is good, but of course we should also mention that this aircraft model actually came with one of the horizontal stabilizers detached. Now this can happen for every manufacturer. The question is just how often. And what I can say here is that this is the first time I've had something like this with a Sky 500 model. That doesn't mean that it will never happen again, or that it has never happened before to others. And while it's not great, it's definitely something that happens very rarely with Sky 500, which is probably why I'm a little more lax about it in this case. Overall, I think it's a great model, and if you can get your hands on it, it's absolutely worth having in one's collection, at least if you ask me. And with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.